boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Wonderful. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Metroid Dread. This will be the final installment of my first run through the game, in which we go and beat the final boss. After this, I don't have anything else planned for today, necessarily, but there is a poll up for people to pick which Metroid game I play next. Either starting the Prime Trilogy or manning up and getting the game that doesn't exist out of the way for posterity's sake. But while anyone looks at that and chooses which torment to inflict upon me, it's time to actually beat this game. So on Tuesday I said that I was going to go offline and collect all the rest of the missile expansions and health packs. And I did. 100% items. Still sitting under 9 hours of game time, but I'm not sure how that counts for menus or for dying and whatnot. But anyway, don't play Other M ever. Yeah, I feel like if I'm playing any of them, I should play all of them. Ooh, new content unlocked in the gallery? I was not made aware of that. What is all this? Ho ho. This is an interesting picture. So what's this? Ravenbeak beating the first Ami. Chozo warriors subduing Kraid. I'm not sure if this is Quiet Robe or a Mockin, but they're doing their bio research. Are those other Chozo that they're, like, feeding to this thing? Okay, so they're conquering the wildlife on ZDR. That looks like when they came back with the X-infected Chozo. Okay, so that is Quiet Robe. The Emmy. They already have a profile of Samus. Mockin getting ready to conquer. And then Samus and all of her friends and foes over 35 years. In the Samus Returns suit. Okay. Interesting. I have no ending rewards yet. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know there was a gallery or anything. It's the mission log. Okay. Just information. Okay. It's time. It's finally time. That is just very pleasing to hear. But yes, in case the file select wasn't enough, Anubia, Gavaran, Berenia, Dairon, Ferenia, Elin, Kataris, and Ataria. All 100%. And I made it a point to run up to the save room in Itarash at the end so that we can just head straight up and get the butt kicking going. So, round 2. And this time I have like 3 times as many everythings to fight with. And we are watching this again.
Uploading data. It appears your Metroid DNA has caused you to become a Metroid. Ordinarily, this would have happened immediately after the DNA transplant.
Also because lore.
Your Thoha genes must have slowed down the process. They were the only tribe capable of controlling the Metroids.
So the Thoha must have been somewhat psychic because it said that earlier games and earlier material stated that Mother Brain controlled the Metroids psychically.
Though you possess their DNA, you are not a Thoha. Your physical prowess suggests that you must also possess Mochan DNA.
Which is a disturbing thought.
Metroids are programmed to identify Mochan as enemies. This suggests one thing to me.
This suggests to me that the Thoha and the Mochan were on bad terms before the Metroids were created.
It is very probable that your metamorphosis occurred as a result of Ravenbeak's attack. His presence awakened the Metroid's killer instinct.
Well, he's gonna pay for that.
Since then, your metamorphosis has accelerated. It can no longer be controlled.
Well, I mean... Oh well.
You are now a Metroid, Samus Aran. Your very existence poses a grave threat to the galaxy.
Not really, though.
However, there is no need to fear. You can still contribute to galactic peace. You need only use your new powers correctly.
Adam? Buddy? Okay, I know that's not the real Adam. We saw this cutscene on Tuesday. That's not the real Adam, that's Ravenbeak speaking. But, buddy, Samus has always used her powers correctly. She's like the only one in the galaxy that always uses her powers correctly.
You have followed my instructions faithfully so far. Continue to do so. It's that simple. I consider your performance here on ZDR highly satisfactory. As I hoped, it has even awakened your Metroid powers. I was right to let you live during our first encounter. That one glimpse you showed told me everything. Submit and offer up your power. My plan is the only way to bring order to the galaxy. Fulfill your destiny, Samus. This is an order. Disobedience will not be tolerated.
I choose otherwise. You're not my real dad. Or my adoptive dads. I do not accept your fatherhood claims. Ow, ow, stop it. Oh, Jesus. Can I jump? Ah! How do I make that thing go away? Okay, I just don't make it go away, apparently. I don't like this. Like... Okay, I'll just die now. Okay, so black holes require power bombs to overcome. Which I was kind of thinking that was the case, but man, how do you get that off in time with Jerkbeak? Alright, so we're just gonna... Ow. No, I did not. Oh, God damn. Cool, he's so fat that I can't actually get over him. Okay, I hit the counter. Come on. No, we're not doing that again. Ow. Ow. I will say that this game is not very clear about what is and isn't actually doing damage. Alright, well, I'm just dead again. Okay, he's very shiny now, and I don't know what to do. Ah! No! Bad uncle! Uh... Would have really preferred more in the way of health drops. Ow. This is going fantastically. He's gonna do the thing. Or not? Ooh. Got him with that good gut punch. Oh, now he's doing the cheating thing. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep, there it is. I saw that coming. Alright, Jerkbait Phase Two. Slightly more difficult. Which, I mean, should be expected out of the final boss. Alright, we're gonna... Yeah, but can you, like, not? Yeah, but I figured out your counter now. Oh, damn it. Oh, I laid a bunch of bombs and threw myself up into it. Alright. Ow, ow. Ah! Okay. I'm doing a lot better this time, but... Nope. Okay. I almost bombed myself up into the beam again. Oh, now he's gone full jerk again. Oh, it's a double counter. I was not prepared. Alright, bird brain. Okay, phase two. Much better this time around. Much better. Ah! Ow. Ah. Damn it. Damn it. Alright. Making progress. We'll get there. Excuse me. It's just more opportunities to beat up the biggest jerk I've ever met. Ow. Alright. Ow. Ow, come on. There we go. That was still a lot of unnecessary damage, but... I'm just assuming the missiles are more effective. I'm not sure if they actually are or not. Wait, is he gold already? He is. Okay. No, let's... Ooh. Oh, that was a nice counter. Oh, that's a good animation. Alright. Now he's gonna pop the wings. Ow. Okay, that was on me. Damn it. Ow! And we jump, and we jump, jump. Oh boy! What are you gonna do now? You're stuck now. Okay, that's kind of hardcore. Unless that was just some part of his armor. Can I... Oh my god. Oh, let's not. You are a very bad uncle. Yeah, no. We're not playing... I've got plenty of power bombs. You can try. Oh, that is a very tight counter window. How many E-tanks does his armor have? This is bullshit! Oh no. Just grab his arm! Oh no. You think this is the first time I fought through armies of myself? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, there's rumbling. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Wow. That was, oh my god. Kinda want to say you deserve that, you... Okay. That's a bit much. Oh, cool. We stole his ridiculously insane laser beam. That's right. Metroids can do that kind of thing. Just absolutely obliterate everything of Ravenby. Oh. Oh, of course. Okay, well. Okay. Up then. Wait, can I pause menu? Can I see? Oh, we got the Hyper Beam again! Hyper Beam makes its return from Super. Did I kill those things just by touching them? Oh my god. Slurp. Slurp. I am the Metroid now. It is me. Everything is just tasty, tasty treats for me. Wait, where? Okay, okay. I see it, I see it, I see it. Okay, so just holding the button fires the continuous laser of death. Oh my god. Can I... okay. Time's getting tight. Listen, screw attack would kill you guys even if... Nope. Even if just coming into contact with a full Metroid wouldn't. Okay, the timer is getting ridiculous. Where's my ship? Where's my ship? Ship!
So, you will drain the ship of its energy.
That's a problem. That's another problem. No. No. Wait, what? I don't understand. How did that... But I don't... Okay. Okay, the Thoha genetics makes sense, but I don't know why that 1X was so intent on helping? Does this fall back to the even if we die to a Metroid, it's better to not be completely annihilated? Like, that's sort of what happened at the end of Fusion too? Quiet Robe is such a good boy that the X-Parasite helped me? Maybe? Like... That's... The psychic nature of... Right, they take the abilities and memories, but they've also been shown to do what they want with them, so I'm very surprised that Quiet Robe had such an impact, or still had that much... Well, no, it's not capitalized on a lot in Fusion, but it comes up a little bit in that the scientist that was hiding, the X-Parasite infected him and used him to set off the reactor. So that is a known thing. But it's really wild to think about the fact that Quiet Robe's memories were that strong, or maybe there was some lingering amount of his psychic potential that sort of took control of his reanimated body. I don't know, that's really weird. The Prime games do make it a point to point out that the Chozo were very spiritual and very strongly psychic. And if Thoha were on Zebes, and Zebes and Talon 4 were in the same solar system, then it's entirely possible that those very spiritual Chozo are the same ones are the Thoha. Right, which the SAX making the self-sacrifice is... It makes me wonder if the X, while they'll throw themselves at an enemy relentlessly, if they, when they know the game is up, if they'll make the sacrifice for the better, for their opponent to get away. Because in the end, that kind of makes sense for the X to do. If an enemy can overcome them, then it makes a stronger enemy, and it's something stronger for them to take later. Which is very interesting to think about. Huh. But, as far as while the credits are going, I'm going to talk a little bit on what I think about Dread as a game as a whole. So, the earliest games couldn't really be the action-adventure games that they were billed to be before the Metroidvania genre label was created, largely due to hardware limitations. So over time, with starting with Fusion and moving through Zero Mission and Samus Returns, the remakes, and admittedly Other M did this as well, the games were attempting to push for a more directly action-based gameplay style, which Other M completely botched that. Zero Mission and Fusion, which came before that, still stuck to the pure side-scrolling, dodging and shooting style gameplay. Samus Returns introduced the melee counters, which provided a little bit more dynamicism and sort of made Samus start to feel like the badass that Nintendo always said she was. But I feel like in Fusion they really in Dread, in this game, they really absolutely nailed the feeling of this fast-moving, very mobile warrior that Samus was always supposed to be, that we were always told that she was. Oh, I guess I don't get any cool endings for that. Ooh! I like that. Hard mode unlocked. Yes, I very much feel like with Dread, the gameplay matches who we were always told Samus is. Okay, so Zero Mission, Samus Returns, Super, Fusion, Dread. I don't know. These are probably the time-based rewards. Yeah, I figured I wouldn't get a very good ending reward, considering it's almost a 9-hour playthrough. So as far as striking the balance between story and gameplay goes, where Fusion had a very linear story and Other M had way too much story, and for the amount of gameplay it had, and for the quality of gameplay it had, and the quality of story it had, the sort of minimal storytelling of this game is pretty spot on. Every point that there's a cutscene, and there aren't a whole lot of them, they're spaced fairly far throughout the game. There's, so let's see, 8.5 hours for completion. there were, what, 3 cutscenes? One in the beginning, one in the middle, and the 2 at the end? Not counting, like, the collecting abilities from the Emmy. So the story is spread out very well, I think. And unlike in Fusion, where Adam is dictating your every move, in this game, his role is relegated to basically confirming or discussing the things that you've just done, and pretty much the only thing he tells you to do throughout the game is, hey, you're gonna get your ass kicked, get back to the ship. Which, along the way to the ship, you know, you get through everything. All these bosses, all the Emmys, collecting abilities along the way. And every time he says, hey, you can use this thing to survive a little bit better. So, Charge Beam is the first thing you acquire. Spider Magnet, Phantom Cloak, Wide Beam, Morph Ball. So Morph is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5th item you get in this game. It's not the first like in Metroid and Super Metroid. And you started with it in Metroid 2. That and missiles, that's the only things you started with. So, I mean, I don't get where people are like, oh, this is such a bad game or anything, or giving it hate, because honestly, after Fusion came out, 2004, 17, after 17 years, this game is everything you would expect out of the Metroid well, for me anyway, it's everything I would expect out of the Metroid franchise for a new game over that period of time. And it's not even, Nintendo's not even the developer for this game, they just published it. Like, a company called Mercury Steam are the ones that actually made this. And they did such a fantastic job. Like, nothing feels... None of the controls feel bad to me. It's an evolution of everything, of the controls of all the past games, really. So you can run an angle easily. You can aim in 360 like in Samus Returns. It's not like, oh, 8 directions and then you have to jump and time everything right. No, you can just shoot wherever. Granted, there aren't a whole lot in the way of new abilities, but honestly, there's only really so many ways you can reinvent what Samus can do without it feeling... without rehashing old ground. Like, I'm really glad to see the speed booster came back. That was a really good... It's a really fun ability for just casual use, and the puzzles you can design around it are really good. They're really challenging, too, don't get me wrong, but they are really cool. I'm glad to see they did away with high jump, because, honestly, high jump was just sort of a false progression gate in my mind. And even before getting the space jump, they added in a double jump just so you could get around a little quicker. The cross bombs are pretty neat. They're nothing too revolutionary, but still pretty neat. I feel like the Storm Missile took the concept of Seeker missiles from Prime 2 and improved upon them, which is really cool. They looked back at a game that Nintendo won't confirm is canon or not, and brought it in and made it cool. The Aeon abilities are awesome upgrades from the ones in Samus Returns. The Pulse Radar is really good. It's good for finding hidden blocks. The Phantom Cloak was... You can tell they made it specifically for this game with all the emphasis on stealth elements, and it works really well if you use it properly. The flash shift really adds to the feel of action in this game, which is another great step. But I think, honestly, the best ability improvement they made is this. When you Shine Spark now, there's a moment of just Samus is charging up and you get to pick a direction. It's not finicky like it was in Fusion or Super, where you had to be holding the direction already, and that can cause you to not make your jump right. I feel like power bombs are, again, based on when you get them in the game, they're sort of just really gimmicky, but fun to use. All of the lore coming together for this game is really great. And from what headlines I've seen of videos suggested to me by my phone and YouTube, there is sequence breaking in this game. So they've really tried to make this like the ultimate Metroid game, which I feel like was kind of the point. And there's a lot of headcanons that I have and theories I've had that this game confirms, honestly. And Ozzy, I've spent a lot of time talking to Ozzy about theories for the Metroid series as a whole, and this game has really just confirmed so many of them. It's unreal. But overall, if you were on the fence about this game, don't be. It's honestly, I'm someone that gets excited for a game and will play like 5 hours of it and put it down and not touch it for 6 months to a year again. And ever since I got this on Friday, I've been wanting to play it every day, all day. And binding myself to streaming this was kind of problematic in that regard, because it's like, oh, well, I want to play more, but I can't, because if I'm playing more, then people are missing out, and that's no fun. Like, that's the whole point of streaming and recording this, is so that other people can watch a full playthrough of it. But honestly, there's so many cool things about this. There's so much attention to detail. That ending was incredible. I only wish that there was like a mode once you actually beat it where you get to keep playing around with like whatever you get at the end of the game. In this case, the Metroid suit and the Hyper Beam. That would be really cool. But well, I guess a new game, yeah, a new game plus would be fun, but just there would actually be zero challenge to the game at all with a new game plus. Like, even now I can still screw up and take a bunch of damage, but with the Metroid suit and the Hyper Beam, that I run into an enemy and they die because I'm a Metroid, or Hyper Beam where I just hold the button and fire down infinite death laser. Which, I mean, a very fulfilling power fantasy, but at that point, you don't have a game. Ow. I'm trying to find a good place to show off. So there's a lot of little movement things that go really well in this. Like, if you slide under a narrow passage, if it's short enough, Samus will just pop straight back up. Or even most of the time, if you have to go into Morph Ball to get through the entire passage, when you slide through and go into Morph Ball and you pop out the other side, she'll just pop back up. And it's it's not something I've really thought about until right now, but bombs are ridiculously strong because it takes a couple shots from the wave beam to kill those guys, but one bomb and they go down. Like, what's it gonna do? Okay, hold on. So we'll do that. And then it's like you slide through and boom, pops back up. Like, just these really smooth movement adjustments that are really just logical evolutions of everything out of a Metroid game. It's really smooth. The whole game is just very well fit and finish. And you can tell that when they announced this at E3, or was it yeah, it was E3. When they announced this at E3 this year, they had this game ready. Like, this, they kept this under wraps until it was perfectly done. And it shows, and it's wonderful. Another little thing that's just so very nice is that's an actual save station. Network stations, map stations. Anytime you come across those the first time, or network stations, anytime you come through them, you're offered as they become a save station. Map stations, the first time you go through them, they offer you a save after you download the map. The maps are much more complete in Dread, I want to say. Like, so you can see behind most of the rooms, there's the background that says, hey, there's a room here. And there are very few places like this room that there are no background. These secret map areas, which Fusion was really bad about. But also it didn't matter as much in Fusion because of how linear it was. Every ability that you get has a corresponding obstacle to it that it lets you get across, that it lets you get around. Gravity lets you go through water and cold rooms. Varia lets you go through hot rooms. Gravity also does lava, as is traditional. Morph Balls, you start with the spring ball as soon as you get Morph Ball. It's very quick. It's very easy. Bombs open up bomb blocks. You don't get bombs for a while in this game, which is an interesting choice, but still very cool. The cross bomb boss isn't really even much of a boss, but it's really interesting, and cross bombs they have very limited use, but they're still neat things to have. The spider magnet being able just to crawl on walls is an evolution of the spider ball and being much more dev controllable. Very clever use. They took the zero mission speed ball, where you could use speed booster as in Morph Ball mode, and they brought that back. You can just be a cannonball of death. They added, in addition to the original melee counter, they have a dash counter now, which just does damage to enemies if you run and hit them. And you can use it to kill things, and every time you get a new suit, the dash counter gets upgraded, does more damage. Which, granted, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does do some. Like, everything in this game has a purpose. There's really no waste. In fact, if I had to say that anything in this game is pointless, I would say it's ice missiles, and they still managed to put in a point where you needed those to get through. Like, I'm probably going to put this game in particular down for a few days, just so I don't burn myself out on it, but it is... But a lot of the boss kills are very stylish. The animations, the cinematics for killing bosses is beautiful. And it's... In context of the earlier games, Samus has always felt like a real badass because she's stuck in these impossible situations and yet manages to make it work. Especially in Fusion, where you're told constantly that it's futile, there's nothing you can do. You know, you just need to survive and get out and not die. But this game merges the fantasy with the play, and it is absolutely amazing. But all that being said, I love this game. I can't recommend it enough. I know there's always a lot of skepticism about reviews in gaming publications these days because of review bombs and the still lingering nonsense of Gamergate, but this game deserves the scores it got. It deserves like the 9 out of 10s, the 10 out of 10s, the 5 stars, the 85 pluses. It deserves it. And I'm gonna now finally go talk to people and theorize about things and look up information and see what little details I missed, and maybe look into sequence breaking a little bit and try and get my completion time down and get some of these other endings. I'll probably look the other ending cards up in all honesty, but getting them myself is an end goal. But anyway, thank you all so much for coming. If you haven't voted on which Metroid game I play next, it's supposed to be an overlay poll, so if you just touch the screen over the video or mouse over wherever it should pop up, the choices are start the Prime Trilogy or play Other M and get that out of the way for my own sanity. Because stupidly, I do intend to finish that game as well at some point. But thank you all so much for coming. Extra link or extra life link below the video window. You guys are my regular crowd. I know you've heard this spiel before. The money goes to children's hospitals. And Sunday we'll get back to New Vegas. Tuesday will be a new Metroid game because we're on a roll and we're going to go through them all at this point. Next Thursday, finally going to properly start Console Crashers with an old favorite game of mine, Banjo-Kazooie. Hope to see you all there. But until then, take care. Tomorrow's Friday, and get through the day. Enjoy your weekend. I hope to see you all on Sunday. And good night, everybody.